Hi guys, my name is Christine and today I'm talking about 7 manifestation and law of attraction techniques and methods that actually work. So these are things that I have used personally to manifest certain things in my own life, big or small, okay? So there's also a different one at the end, there's a secret one at the end which I'm going to go into. So there is actually an 8th one, so if you stick around to the end of this video you should be able to access that, and it's actually really simple, and you may already have an idea of what that could be once I've gone through all the other 7 techniques and methods, okay? So the first one is feeling good, right? If you want to manifest good things into your life, if you want to manifest things that you want in your life, then it's a good idea to have a positive mental attitude and to feel happy with your life, okay? The reason why a lot of people get stuck in manifesting the things that they want is because they're not happy, right? And they think, oh, I'll only get happy when I get the thing. When I get the thing that I want, then I'll be happy. But the thing is that you need to start enjoying your life more. Because if you have a more positive outlook and you feel good about life in general, you know, let's say most of the time, let's say at least 80% of the time, you feel pretty happy with where you are, you're more likely to see opportunities, you're more likely to take opportunities, you're more likely to be looking out, because you're already looking at the good things in your life, you're going to be looking and be able to pick up on things that are good, you know, good things coming in. You'll be able to notice the signs a lot more. The universe already knows what you want, right? So because the universe already knows what you want, the only thing that you need to do is feel good, and then those things will come to you, because you can't attract good things into your life if you're on a lower vibration of feeling bad. You can only attract those things into your life by feeling good. Okay, so that's essentially what I mean by that. Okay, so the next thing that I think really works, and this is such a good way to do things, and that is visualization, right? You can get a vision board if you want to. I'm going to make a video on vision boards and things on a later date. But visualization, like mentally thinking about what you want, mentally rehearsing what you want, what your outcome is, can really help. So this is especially good for people that are maybe want like a physical goal, right? Or want to achieve something physical. Because I think you can do it better in that way with yourself, and you can see yourself doing something basically, right? So the way that I've personally done this is that I used to really not like cold showers, okay, which is fair enough. You know, it's not nice to have a cold shower. You know, it doesn't feel great. It feels great once you've had one, but when you start and you initially start doing it, it doesn't feel great, especially for those first few 10 to 30 seconds when you start having cold showers. It's the same when you get in a cold and you go for a swim in the ocean. Like you're always kind of standing around waiting to take the plunge. But when you get in, it feels good. But anyway, the way that I personally started to change myself so that I would prefer colder showers, and because, you know, there's that Wim Hof method about, you know, people, you know, it's good for you to actually have a cold shower now and again, right? It's good for your body. So what I did was I would visualize myself getting in the shower and being able to being able to take the cold water washing over my body. And I would visualize that. I would visualize myself not squirming. I would visualize myself enjoying it and doing it for a long time, doing it for a good period of time, doing it for the duration of my shower, right? That's how I would visualize it in my head, and I would see myself doing it. And when I started doing that, it became a lot easier to take those cold showers, right? Every time I visualized it, I got better at it. I did it better. I stayed in that shower for longer, and it worked. And it was all because I visualized myself doing it, okay? So that really helps as well, okay? So if you visualize what you want to manifest, if you visualize what you want to do, it's more likely that you're going to be able to do it, okay? So another way to manifest what you want is affirmations. Now, I made a video recently on how to use affirmations correctly. So if you would like to go and watch that video, I highly recommend that you do, because affirmations can help. They're only a part, but they can help, but they really do help if you do it in that specific way. Okay, it's not just enough to just lay in bed and listen to affirmations and just say them. You have to do what I suggest in that video. So please go and watch that one if you're interested in affirmations, and if you want to find out basically if you've been using affirmations in the wrong way, or if you've been using them in the right way and you're on the right track. It's a good way to know. Okay, so the next thing is having a strong desire, right? You've got to really want what you want to manifest, right? You've got to want it so much that you're willing to take action on it, essentially, right? Because, there's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of people talk about the law of attraction and getting into vibration and things like that, which does help, but you've also got to be taking action too. You can't just think about things and have them manifest, okay? We do live in a very physical world. Perhaps the universe can do that kind of thing. Perhaps God or whatever you believe in can do that kind of thing and manifest things and create things out of nothing. But generally, we can't do that kind of thing. We can't just sit here and have a bowl of strawberries just appear in front of us, right? That's something that we can't physically, mentally do. Not unless you're like one of these like avatars of the world, one of the greatest like manifestors, like people like Jesus or Buddha. Maybe they could do stuff like that, but again, it's still debatable whether or not they could, because again, we still live in a very tangible existence, a tangible world. So who knows if that's true or not? I personally don't think that they could do those things, but who knows, right? I'm not here to judge anybody. Maybe you could manifest a bowl of strawberries in front of you without doing anything, right? But it's one of those things. You got to have a strong desire to achieve what you want to achieve, because otherwise, if you don't feel strongly about it, it's probably not going to happen. You got to really, really, really want it. So that's something else that really helps you manifest things. Okay, so having a strong desire, like really wanting it. Okay, so this is kind of something that I created myself, right? For me, right, and what works for me. Okay, so this is more of like an action exercise, so please do try it out for yourself. Okay, especially if your goal and the thing that you want to manifest is something that you can do, that you can take action on. Okay, so this is what I did to make things happen for me a lot quicker, right, when it comes to my manifestations. And that is, I made a list of 32 ways I could achieve my goal. 32 ways. Now, the reason I said 32 was just because, in 32 ways, is just because what I did is I had I have a notebook, right? And there's 32 lines. It's a line notebook and there's 32 lines, right? And I wrote what my goal was at the top of the page. And then as far as the page went down, which was 32 lines, I wrote down on each line something that I could do to achieve that goal, to manifest that, right? Practical things that I could do, right? Practical, physical things that I could actually do that was within my physical control, right? And when I did that and I started to do the things on the list, started ticking things off. In fact, I still have things to do on that list. I started getting more and started to achieve more of what I wanted to do and to achieve my goal, right? So make a list, right? Get a piece of paper and basically write down, perhaps it doesn't have to be 32, it can be just as many as you can fit on that page of practical things that you can do that you haven't already done, right, to achieve that goal, right? Think of 32 things and then start crossing them off the list. Maybe there's some on there that are a bit more difficult than others. So the things that you can do, right? And I found that when I wrote that list initially, there was like at least 3 things on there that I could do that day, that I could achieve that day. And I did them, right? That was the first day. You think, oh God, 32 things. You don't have to do them all in the same day. But there could be at least 1 or 2 things that you could do and complete that day to manifest whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, to work your way towards that goal. And also what it does is that when you get lower down the list, especially if you're going to write 32 things like what I did, when you get to like around maybe 15 things, you start to have to really think, because there's a lot of things that you should be doing. There's a lot of things that you could do, to manifest the thing that you want, to achieve your goal. But, when you start getting further down the list, you really have to think out of the box. So that's something else that's really cool. And one of those things where you have to really think out of the box, where you really have to kind of stretch your brain to think of what you could do, those are the ones that are like the really big impactful things that really could actually make that thing happen, right? Because you start to think up new ideas and it's just really cool. So I highly recommend that you do that. So that's a bit of an action exercise for you today. Get a sheet of paper, preferably a lined one, and write as many things that you can do to achieve your goal, okay? Practical things, okay? So another thing to make your manifestations happen, to, use the law of attraction in a really good way, is to take inspired action. Because you're not going to feel good, basically, if you are doing things that you don't feel like doing, okay? Now, a lot of the time, the things that you are doing are actually things that you want to do, but perhaps you're just not in the right frame of mind to do those things. So, for example, sometimes, for me, when I'm either working on this channel, whether I'm working with a client, or whether I'm working with my other YouTube channel, which has a lot more subscribers, that one has like over 10,000 now, which is really, really cool. So when I'm working on different things, or I might be having to do something to my website to tweak it around, sometimes I don't feel like doing it, right? Because I'm just having an off day, right? But there are things that I do want to do. It's just that I'm in the wrong frame of mind, okay? So sometimes it can be just that you just need a bit of an attitude adjustment. You may just need to have to make yourself do the thing. But when I think about it, those things I actually am inspired to do because they're things that I've created a to-do list for myself, basically, right? So they are actions that I've created that are from inspired action, right? So taking inspired action is really important. And so, but don't confuse that. Don't confuse with, I don't want to do this thing. This is an inspired action. Don't confuse that with, I'm just having an off day. Because if on other days you would do it, then it's inspired action. But it might just be, a bit, I don't feel like doing it today. Feeling a bit lazy. So there's different things to it. So taking inspired action is important, okay? Taking inspired action. So what does that mean? Inspired is when you feel really motivated to do something. When you perhaps you're listening to a piece of music and you're thinking about all the goals that you want to achieve and things like that, and you can think of things that you can do to achieve those things. That's inspired action, okay? But if it's something like, uninspired action, the action that you don't want to take is if you think of something like, oh yeah, I should be doing that, but I don't really want to do that, but I feel like I have to do it because perhaps maybe other people are doing it, right? And you think, oh no, I have to do that. That's not inspired action, okay? If it's something that you really, really don't want to do, and it's not just because you're feeling lazy that day, then it's probably not a good idea for you to do it. Like, just because everyone says that, the best exercise in the world is running. I don't know if people actually say that. It's just something that I've made up just now. But let's just say people say that, if you want to lose weight or if you want to get really fit, you need to run, right? But you don't want to run, then don't do it, right? That's not going to inspire you if it's something that you don't want to do, okay? So the last one that I want to talk about, the seventh thing to do to manifest and manifestation and law of attraction methods that work. This is a good one. And that is having a good attitude in terms of gratitude and appreciation. So having an appreciative, grateful attitude to what does come into your life, even if it's something as simple as a new idea, right? Being grateful is super important, and can put you in alignment with the universe, can make things happen to you faster. Okay, if you're really grateful, right? So gratitude in a way is a sense of relief, and also so when, let's say, something happens, right, and you're grateful for that thing to happen, when something good happens like that, you feel like thank God, that's so amazing that happened. You feel really grateful. Okay, so that's a part of it, right? Another part of it is appreciation. So that's when you can kind of look at the things that you already do have and appreciate those things. So you might look at your bank account and how much you've got in there and appreciate how much money you have in your bank account. Even if, you don't really have that much in there right now. It could be that you're just appreciative of what you do have. So let's say you've only got $10 or £10 in your bank account. That may not seem like a lot to some people, but to other people, that would be amazing. That would be a lot of money. And think of basically all the ways that you could actually spend that £10 or $10. It doesn't have to, you don't have to actually spend it. But if you think of, oh yeah, I could buy this, I could buy that, I could go to a coffee shop and buy that drink or something like that. Just think of all the different ways you could use and spend that money. You know, something like that. That would put you in a more grateful attitude and appreciating that money that you do have. So just looking around at what you've got, looking at the different people in your life and just feeling appreciation for them, it really helps as well. So the secret manifestation tip that I have, the secret law of attraction tip that I have is use any of these things or any other thing that you think of that you feel will actually work, okay? Because there might be some of the things that I've said here today that you're like, yeah, that doesn't resonate with me. I don't think that's true. And don't use it, right? Use the ones that resonate with you or the other ways that maybe other people have said that resonates with you. Do the thing that you believe will work. Because the mind's weird, right? If you believe something will work, it's very likely that it will. Okay, because you believe it. In a way, it's like a placebo, right? So if you believe that it's going to work, then it probably will. It's more likely to work. Okay, so one of the things that I feel like this is for me, like the most powerful one of these for me, actually there's a couple there, but like the one that I've actually seen very fast that works for me is the visualization technique, right? The visualization technique where I look and in my mind's eye, in the theater of my mind, and I play out what I want to happen, right? That happens so fast, especially in little things like what I suggested where I go into the shower and I want to take a cold shower. And I do better in cold showers when I visualized beforehand that I'm going to be able to do it really well, right? So that's one that works for me. Another one that worked for me was the 32 ways that I can achieve my goal. You know, writing those things down, practical things that I can do to help bring my goal closer, to help bring the thing that I want to manifest closer to me, okay? So those are the ones that I believe really work for me, and I do actually see very good tangible results with those. The other ones, sometimes I'm a bit skewy with them. Sometimes, you know, I don't feel like I want to take inspired action and things like that. You know, there's some things in there that don't really resonate with me 100% of the time. But those two things really do. So there are going to be some things in this video that you found that resonates with you, that you feel, yeah, that would actually really work. Do those ones, right? Don't do all of these ones. If there's some that, because you got to feel good, remember that, okay? You got to feel good. You got to be in a good frame of mind. Okay, and you've got to be enjoying the process. So if there's some things in there where you're like, yeah, I don't really want to do that, then don't do it. Do the ones that work for you, okay? And if you believe it, it will happen, okay? So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you would like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com, and on the shop page, you'll be able to find coaching options. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye, guys.